Amsterdam. It's not the south of France or something, you know, it looks a little bit like it. But, although the wind, you're getting a little bit more wind, so it's getting a bit colder. But yeah, my name is Eddie. I will be your skipper for the tour. I'm going to take you on a nice tour through the city. First over the water a little bit, then we're going to head into the city towards the Amstel River. And then afterwards we're going to see some pretty canal houses on the canal belt. And then we'll be heading back through the old city center, through the red light district. Let's see what's going on over there. I am from Amsterdam, so if you have any questions about the city, see something happening around you, want to know a little bit more about, just ask, and then maybe I will know the answer. So yeah, let's make it a good one, right? Over here, this is the old harbor of Amsterdam. This really used to be the economic center of the city in the age, the 1600s and the 1700s. So this was where all the trading ships would arrive. Amsterdam was a trading city, so this was where the ships would arrive filled with stolen goods from all over the world. You know, they called it trading, but you know, it was a golden age for Amsterdam, not so much for all the other places where they went to. But yeah, the trading history is still an important part of Amsterdam's history to know about, because many of the things we're going to see on our trip are from that time or have something to do with trading. So I'm going to show you some nice examples of that on our tour as well. If you look at the Amsterdam houses, you can already see a few go under the bridge. You see that most of them are pretty narrow. That's because the city usually takes the width of your house. So yeah, all the smart traders, you know, they make the house as narrow as possible because they didn't want to pay the taxes, of course. Yeah, that also means that inside the staircases are also very narrow, very steep. You know, to save space indoors. And that's why almost all of the houses have hooks and beams on the top. It's a bit difficult to see with the trees now. You can also see it over there. And those were used to hoist up trading goods to the upper floors. And the funny thing is, we still use them quite a lot for our furniture and our washing machines and stuff. house over there is a good example of what happens to a lot of houses in Amsterdam. You know, that they're falling over. They were all built on wooden poles. That you really need a foundation like that because Amsterdam is built on a swamp, you know, otherwise everything will just sink into the ground right away. But yeah, 400 years later the wood is not so strong anymore, and then this happens. This one is, has been renovated and it's a bar now. But always remember when you go there, when the floors look straight, it's time to go home. And you had enough beers. Traditional Dutch music. We're gonna see many pretty buildings on our tour. This is not one of them. This one over here, this is our town hall, and I can say two nice things about it. It has a bar, so I can go for a drink while you're waiting for the paperwork. Also, this was the place where the first same-sex marriage in the world happened. In 2001, 4 couples got married on the 1st of April. And they did it on purpose on April Fool's Day to confuse potential protesters. Now, a lot of people thought it was a joke, so nobody showed up to protest, so they could do the marriages all in peace and quiet, which worked really well. And all the couples are also still together, so that's also good. They built a dam in the Amstel River and a very creatively called place Amsterdam, which later became Amsterdam. You see that with more cities in the Netherlands. You also have Rotterdam, for example. Same idea, you know the name of the river with the water management system that they built there. see the white bridge, right? That's probably the most famous bridge of Amsterdam, the Magere Brug, or the Skinny Bridge. It's also the most romantic bridge of Amsterdam, because legend has it that if you kiss under the bridge, your love will last forever. So maybe we'll be going there later. You know, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but. Side of the boat, which is a little bit of a narrow one. But lucky you have the best skipper of Amsterdam on board. Chasing another boat. Wow. We are now on the Herengracht, or the Canal of Lords. This is traditionally the most wealthy canal of Amsterdam. And I already told you guys about that they tax the width of your house, right? Over here you can see that the houses are a lot wider in general. So yeah, people didn't care about the taxes so much. Also big windows, not because they wanted to look outside so much, but more because they wanted other people to look inside of their houses at all their expensive stuff. It was a time when you didn't have Ferraris or Rolexes to show how rich you were. So your house was really your status. light district. There's two main canals in the red light district, this one and one to the right. But on the other one there's lots of windows next to the canal. So tourist boats are not allowed there because they don't want people to take pictures there. For privacy reasons, of course. But this is sort of a more decent version of the canal. But, still lots to see. With the idea to sell coffee and then something else in the counter. They have many coffee shops all over Amsterdam now, but this was the original one. And then right next to the oldest coffee shop, the oldest church of Amsterdam. It's the oldest building actually of the city. The church in the middle is from 1400. In the course of the centuries they've made all kinds of additions, so it's a really interesting mix of all kinds of different architectural styles. Red light district, so it's like all these like windows also around the church. Very typical Amsterdam, you know. No taboos. Ik zit kolkje in de kant, komt inderdaad naar de andere kant vallen. This is really how Amsterdam used to look in its early history. You know, all the houses were straight on the water, almost no streets. A little bit like Venice. again, because Amsterdam was very Protestant for a long time. Not allowed to be a Catholic, and you had almost like hidden churches in Amsterdam, and everybody knew about them, but nobody really cared enough about them to like make them disappear or anything. Guys had a good time. We're all energized for the rest of the evening. It was my last tour, so I'm gonna have a beer in the city myself. So it was a pleasure to have you on the boat. There are a few QR codes on the boat. If you scan them, you can leave a review. Very much appreciated, actually. We are a small company, we have to compete with all the big boats. So a good review really helps with that, especially if you say my name in the review. That would be even better. My boss also knows that I did a good job. And I'm also going to put down my very Dutch tip jar. That means that if you like the tour, you can put some money in there. Don't feel like you have to, of course. If you didn't like the tour, take some money out, have a drink on me, and forget about the last hour. Safe to leave the boat. Enjoy the city. Have fun. Try to behave a little bit. Bye bye. Yeah. Bye bye. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh yeah.